Edwards Air Force Base, which is the center of the aerospace testing universe. Up here you have a good view of Rogers Dry Lake Bed. This base's history goes all the way back to World War II. So Muroc Dry Lake was used by the Army Air Forces for training during World War II. It was the home of the development of the first U.S. jet aircraft. Also more famously known for breaking the sound barrier with Chuck Yeager over 70 years ago. This all took place here at Edwards.
If you look out across the lake bed, on the other side of the lake bed is where General Yeager, strapped into the airplane and first broke the sound barrier. If you look on the other side of the lake bed on the north side is where we first flew the P-59 Airacova and then brought America into the jet age. We go back and forth about how much we want to talk about what we've been in the past instead of talking about what we're doing in the future. The F-35 just finishing its developmental test. We have the B-21, which is now unclassified, getting ready to test here at Edwards Air Force Base. So we were very much creating history day by day.
At any given day, you've got testing going on from UAVs to a legacy and partner F-16 testing to, as recently as a year and a half ago, F-15 testing for the Saudi Air Force. You have all different types of C-17, KC-135, KC-10 sustainment testing, as well as the F-22. So if you imagine the flight test enterprise for the United States Air Force, you have a significant amount of the testing that takes place here at Edwards.
I'm Major Joe Sabat. I go by Rabdo. I'm Air Force Academy class of 2008. And I am the lead flight test engineer and also the assistant director of operations for test operations here at the 411th Flight Test Squadron F-22 Combined Test Force. In my role, I take the engineering requirements from our discipline engineers, the operational requirements for our jets, and I kind of put those together and lead a team that puts those together to create safe, secure, effective, and efficient flight test missions. So we take all those requirements and make sure we're getting the best bang for our buck out of the limited flight time and the expensive flight time that we have in the F-22.
My name's Major Chris Taylor. My flying call sign is Beast. I graduated from the Academy in 2007, and I'm an experimental test pilot in the F-35 and the F-16 here at the 461st Flight Test Squadron at Edwards Air Force Base. Our role is testing new software, new capabilities, new weapons, and being sort of the go-between the contractor, in this case Lockheed Martin, and then the customer, which is either the Combat Air Force or in this case the Navy, Marines, as well as our foreign customers, to sort of verify requirements and that the aircraft is in fact living up to expectation. So we have two AF-1 and 2, which are the first two productionized Air Force aircraft that we used for flight sciences. And then we have AF-3, 6, and 7, which are three of the earlier mission systems aircraft. So with all of the avionics and the full capability of the F-35. And then we have currently AF-182 and 184, which are two relatively new aircraft that we've added to the fleet. And those are the latest production variant for the F-35.
I'm Major Shea Brandigan, class of 2008. I'm the Chief of Standardization and Evaluation at the 416th at Edwards Air Force Base. We fly pretty much every block of F-16, every engine in the F-16, and the variants from all different countries. Every aircraft that you go to on the ramp here at Edwards may be different. It may have a different engine with different operating limits or different procedures. At Test Pilot School itself, you have the opportunity to fly up to 21 different types of aircraft while you're in that curriculum. Here at the 416th, we also have a chance to be dual qualified. So some of our pilots are qualified in multiple aircraft, which is unusual for the rest of the Air Force.
From the Academy, I kind of thought that I may want to be a test pilot someday, just from the aero track, and we had some fun test classes that I was able to take while I was there. And so that kind of put the idea in my head. And then when I was eligible to apply last year, I applied and I was amazed I got in, so now I'm here. And so I showed up, for 19 Bravo, I showed up in July, and I'll graduate in June. And the first phase is pretty much academics. That's where I am now, mostly academics, and I fly a few times a week as well. It's fun getting back into the swing of school, because I haven't really been in school in a while. So like having homework, it's like, oh, I'm a student again. But the academics have been tougher, and the flying has been really awesome. It's really neat. We get to fly 3 different planes in the phase that we're in right now, and so like any day I could be flying like one of 3 different planes, which is awesome.
Captain Chris Warner. I'm the flight commander here at the 419th USAFA class of 2013. Here at the 419th, we work bomber test for the B-52, B-1, and the B-2, as well as test for the Air Force's upcoming hypersonic programs. So at the Academy, as a computer engineer and someone who was colorblind and not able to be a pilot due to my eyesight, I was kind of told that test was never really an option for me, so I ended up pursuing an application, finding out that there was a waiver for my eyesight condition, and am now a part of the test community that is actually in need of folks from the computer engineering and electrical engineering career fields.
I'm Major Justin Lechner, class of 2009 at the Air Force Academy. We're at Edwards Air Force Base visiting the 418th Flight Test Squadron and out here visiting the C-17 Globemaster III. And that's what I do. I'm a test pilot of the C-17 and also the KC-46. 418th Flight Test Squadron, we kind of test all things heavy here. So like I said, C-17, C-5s, we also do all tankers. So the new one, the KC-46 that I also fly, and then the KC-135 and KC-10 as well, we test those here. We also bring in our partners. We bring in the KC-30 and other foreign partners that we have as well and join with them for flight test.
I'm Major Fred Meyer. I am the commander of the Air Force Lifecycle Management Center, operating location Det 3. My role here is to command the flight test and production acceptance for the MQ-9s in Air Force Material Command, and specifically in flight test and developmental test. We go to great lengths to make sure that these new capabilities are they at a readiness level, and so we do a lot of detailed planning to ensure that we test them in the most effective way possible so that we can be as objective as possible. Our whole job now is to make sure that we execute well thought out and safe testing, mitigated as required if the safety risk is higher, so that a lieutenant out in the field doesn't see something for the first time that we never saw. So we take a lot of pride in that.
As a lover of aviation and fighter aircraft specifically, this is a great job to be in. Specifically here at Edwards Air Force Base, we basically get a free air show every day.
It's awesome to be out here at Edwards. We have great airspace, great flying, great opportunities for flying different aircraft.
Since finishing test pilot school in the last 2 years, I've done testing on F-15s, F-16s, and then the F-35, which has been awesome and a tremendous opportunity.
Every day we solve a unique problem. We work with a large, diverse team to solve those problems. So it's always fun and always interesting, and every day is a new adventure.
It's amazing because every single day when I walk into work, I park right over here and get to walk past something like this and get reminded of why we're doing what we're doing. There are places all over this base where amazing things have happened in the history of Air Force flight and flight test, and it really reminds us of what we're doing. We're making things safe and effective for future Air Force flyers.